A machine operator and her workstation were the focus of attention at the gearbox manufacturer Zeitlauf in Lauf an der Pegnitz during this particular morning. A camera followed each of her movements and her hands as she assembled a two-stage gearbox. The film strip is called a utility film, a work instructions manual with moving pictures. Short run-up times for the assembly process and flexibility in using human resources are essential for the production process when handling more than 3,000 product options and small production runs in particular. The utility film format, which Memex GmbH presented at Zeitlauf, adopts this approach.
The utility film
is a means of visually storing process and methodical knowledge in a simple way, so that workers can learn about new procedures later in practice and, as a result, start-up curves in production can be kept as short as possible. Zeitlauf Managing Director Thomas Hortz clearly sees the benefits of using this format. Firstly, he says it is hard to communicate such complex working content about the new assembly system by just providing written instructions with illustrations. Secondly, he believes a utility film provides an enormous opportunity to safeguard the quality of the products in the long term, particularly when supplying spare parts. You must remember, we supply drive systems to the railroad vehicle industry, where we have to guarantee spare parts for 15 years. This means we have to maintain the process standards for a period of 15 years. We believe this can only be achieved by using instructions recorded in a film. During the initial production, which was critically followed by the factory managers, a Memex employee did the filming and handled the post-production work. In the future, a Zeitlauf employee trained by Memex will completely produce the films and make them available directly at the workstation via the factory information system. Memex believes he will need 4 or 5 hours to produce a 30-minute training film illustrating a working process. Alfred Huber, the industrial engineering manager, was particularly interested in the filming work and application test by a worker who had no experience of this workstation. He had deliberately selected this assembly island for the test run. We designed this workstation according to MTM standards. We introduced height adjustments and paid special attention to providing manual access from both sides. That is important for us in the future too, so that employees can fully use this method. All those involved agreed that a utility film, which is exclusively designed to communicate the best practice method, can only be as good as the preparation work. As more than 80% of all working processes at Zeitlauf have been analyzed with MTM, the most important preparations for the training film had already been made. If you have described the work content using MTM, you have the best script available. So if the work design has been completed, if the workers know the method, then the utility film will capture what is specified as the target performance without any gaps. The results of the first production have convinced both the workers and the managers. The utility film works, particularly in conjunction with MTM. It shortens the learning curve, safeguards process standards, uses neutral language and therefore makes working content accessible and promotes the CIP process, and therefore employees' motivation.